The film lineup for the next 2 years has something for everyone. With a mix of highly anticipated comic book reboots, best-selling novel adaptations, and sequels from big-name directors, 2025 is shaping up to be a year that will draw people back to the theaters. No matter what kind of moviegoer you are, 2025 and 2026 are packed with blockbusters you won't want to miss. Wolfman. Universal is bringing back another one of its classic monsters, the Wolfman, and after years of setbacks, the remake is finally moving forward. Originally slated for an October 2024 release, The Wolfman has been delayed to January 17, 2025, to accommodate the changes in production. The cast includes Christopher Abbott as Blake, Julia Garner as Charlotte, and Matilda Firth as their daughter Ginger. Although Ryan Gosling had been set to star, he has since left the project. The story follows Blake and Charlotte as they try to salvage their failing marriage by visiting a remote cabin in Oregon that Blake inherited from his father. But their attempt at a peaceful retreat takes a dark turn when Blake is attacked by a werewolf, and his transformation into the creature puts his family in grave danger. The teaser trailer shows Blake's horrific transformation, with Charlotte fighting to protect their daughter as Blake becomes more dangerous. The Wolfman seems to be reimagining the classic tale with a fresh body horror twist, and it's one to watch for fans of horror and monster movies. Captain America: Brave New World. After Sam Wilson took on the Captain America mantle in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, fans eagerly awaited his first solo movie in the MCU. Captain America: Brave New World was originally set to release in May 2024, then pushed to July, and finally delayed again to February 14, 2025. The movie also underwent a title change, switching from New World Order to Brave New World, likely to avoid the darker connotations of the original title, especially given the current political climate in the US. At San Diego Comic-Con, it was confirmed that Brave New World would feature Giancarlo Esposito as Sidewinder, a lesser-known villain from the comics. Sidewinder is a member of the Serpent Society and possesses a cloak that grants him teleportation abilities. How the MCU will adapt this character remains to be seen, as the franchise is known for reworking comic book characters to fit into its more grounded live-action world. Sam Wilson, now firmly in the role of Captain America, will face off against Sidewinder and Thaddeus Ross, who is set to become the Red Hulk, in what is shaping up to be an action-packed showdown in 2025. Mickey 17. The upcoming Mickey 17, directed by Bong Joon-ho, is based on the novel Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. The story explores themes of identity and immortality, centered around Mickey Barnes, a worker who is part of a human expedition to colonize the planet Nilfheim. Mickey's role is to act as an expendable worker. If he dies, another version of him is created with most of his memories intact. The plot thickens when two versions of Mickey coexist, leading to a complicated survival story. The film has an impressive cast, including Robert Pattinson, Stephen Yeun, Naomi Ackie, Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo, and others. Bong Joon-ho is reuniting with his regular collaborators, cinematographer Darius Khondji, editor Yang Jin-mo, and composer Jung Jae-il. Mickey 17 was initially slated for release in March 2024, but was delayed to April 18, 2025, following the SAG-AFTRA strike. Snow White. On March 21, 2025, the highly anticipated live-action version of Disney's 1937 classic Snow White will finally hit theaters, after its release was postponed due to the SAG-AFTRA strike. Directed by Mark Webb, this new adaptation features Rachel Zegler as Snow White, Gal Gadot as the Evil Queen, and Patrick Page as the iconic Mirror on the Wall. Andrew Burnap will play Jonathan, a new interpretation of the original Prince character. The movie is a musical fantasy, with a script written by Greta Gerwig and Aaron Cressida Wilson, and additional credit to Dorothy Ann Blank for the original animated version. A Minecraft movie. On April 4th, Jared Hess's semi-animated feature will bring the world of the popular cubic video game to life. The movie follows four misfits, played by Jason Momoa, Emma Myers, Danielle Brooks, and newcomer Sebastian Eugene Hansen. These characters are transported into a strangely symmetrical wonderland. Along the way, they meet Steve, voiced by Jack Black, and team up for a series of adventures in hopes of finding a way back home. The film promises to blend humor, action and a unique visual style, drawing inspiration from the game's distinctive aesthetic. Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is set to bring together a unique team of misfits, including Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, Ghost, Taskmaster, Red Guardian, John Walker, and a mysterious character named Bob. It's shaping up to be an unexpected addition to the MCU, especially since most fans don't have deep connections to many of these characters, except for Bucky. However, this could turn out to be the MCU's version of Guardians of the Galaxy, where a group of unlikely heroes finds a place in fans' hearts. The exact purpose of this team remains unclear, leading to some concern among Bucky Barnes fans. After his character experienced a hopeful redemptive arc in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, many are worried that he could return to his darker Winter Soldier persona. With Thunderbolts set to release in May, fans will have to wait to find out why Valentina Allegra de Fontaine has brought this particular group of anti-heroes together. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Mission Impossible 8, titled The Final Reckoning, is set to hit theaters on May 23, 2025, marking the end of the current chapter in the Mission Impossible franchise. Directed by Christopher McQuarrie, this film follows Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, a renegade secret agent racing against time to prevent an evil AI from destroying the world. Filmed simultaneously with its predecessor, Mission Impossible 8 will see the return of familiar faces, including Rebecca Ferguson, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Haley Atwell, and Vanessa Kirby. New cast members such as Holt McCallany and Hannah Waddingham join the all-star ensemble, promising more action-packed thrills and high stakes. Karate Kid Legends. Karate Kid Legends, set to release on May 30th, is shaping up to be an unexpected but exciting sequel to both The Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. The mix of Ralph Macchio's Daniel and Jackie Chan's Mr. Han is an interesting combination, especially with the addition of a new martial artist, Li Fong, played by Ben Wang. I love how the trailer gives off this deep, dark tone, something that could really new to the Karate Kid franchise. The action looks intense, with promising martial arts moments, and it's great that they're maintaining top-tier combat choreography. The energy from the music and the tone of the trailer seems to be pulling the audience into something different, a kind of gritty focus that still promises fun and underdog triumphs. Plus, seeing the older legends still showing off their moves is a cool touch, proving they still have that fighting spirit. The predictable plot is a minor concern, but it's clear that the nostalgia of the franchise mixed with new blood could create an engaging story. I'm curious to see if the twist about Jackie Chan being Mr. Miyagi's younger brother pans out. Could be a fun way to tie everything together. 28 years later. Nearly 10 years after his iconic role in 28 Days Later, Cillian Murphy is returning to the franchise for the third film, 28 years later on June 20th, 2025. In this new trilogy, Murphy reprises his role as Jim, the bike courier trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. The film also stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, Ralph Fiennes, and Aaron Kellyman. Jurassic World Rebirth. The latest addition to the Jurassic World franchise stars Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Mahershala Ali. Directed by Gareth Edwards, who did Rogue One, with a script from David Koepp, who wrote the original Jurassic Park, this new film takes place 5 years after Jurassic World Dominion. With the planet's ecology no longer habitable for dinosaurs, a team embarks on a mission to find DNA samples from 3 massive creatures. The film is set to release on July 2nd. Superman. The new Superman movie, set to release on July 11th, has already given us an incredible trailer. When James Gunn said this movie would focus on humanity, I didn't expect it to be this human. The first shot isn't Superman soaring through the sky, but nosediving into the ground, looking like he's been through a pencil sharpener. I honestly don't even know where to begin. This trailer has me speechless. After spending time in the MCU, I'm ready for something fresh, and this new Superman film feels like a true breath of fresh air. It's a superhero fan's dream come true. Clark Kent is the awkward loser we know and love. Rachel Brayhan is stunning as Lois, and Krypto is just too cute with those eyes. Nicholas Hoult looks like a perfect Lex Luthor, straight out of the cartoons. And we've got other awesome characters like Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, and Guy Gardner, the first live-action Green Lantern since Ryan Reynolds, and thank goodness it's not Hal Jordan. The visuals are gorgeous, and Metropolis looks straight out of the comics. From the Daily Planet to Luthor Corps, everything feels so comic book accurate. It's a far cry from the grounded and gritty Superman that Zack Snyder tried to create, which just didn't work. James Gunn's care for the character is clear, and I'm honestly amazed at how he's making Superman feel authentic again. The Fantastic Four First Steps. Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four, will finally be making their way into the MCU in 2025. After being owned by 20th Century Fox for decades, the rights to the team are now in Marvel's hands, thanks to Disney's acquisition of the studio. Fans have been eagerly waiting for a reboot, and the Fantastic Four First Steps promises to deliver just that. Teased as a retro-futuristic take set in the 1960s, it will unfold in an alternate universe separate from the main MCU timeline. Matt Shakman, who was directed by WandaVision, will assemble Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, and Eben Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm for his movie. Predator Badlands. Predator Badlands will bring a fresh twist to the Predator franchise, with the iconic creature taking center stage as the hero. Directed by Dan Trachtenberg, movie is set on an alien planet in the future, and while it's not a direct sequel to Prey, it pushes the franchise's boundaries in a new direction. Trachtenberg shared that the Predator will be the protagonist, a character that audiences will both connect with and be intimidated by. The creature is front and center leading the charge, he says, adding that the film aims to evoke the same spirit as Prey, allowing viewers to root for a hero they rarely get to cheer for. In addition to the Predator, the film will feature Elle Fanning, who plays multiple roles and faces significant challenges in the movie, both physically and dramatically. Fans can expect an exciting mix of emotional depth and intense action. Predator Badlands hits UK cinemas on November 7, 2025, with more details to come in Empire's Ultimate 2025 preview releasing in January. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. On December 5th, Josh Hutcherson, Matthew Lillard, and Elizabeth Lail will return in the horror feature Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The sequel follows the success of the previous film, which was based on the 2014 video game of the same name and directed by Emma Tammy. Tammy is back to direct this follow-up, which promises even more terrifying stakes than the first film. Avatar: Fire and Ash. Avatar: Fire and Ash is set to release on December 19, 2025, following a series of delays, including 9 total. The film will continue the Avatar saga with a storyline focusing on the Ash people, a group of adversaries to the Na'vi tribe, and will explore different regions of Pandora. The film promises intense conflicts between these tribes, although it may focus on battles rather than full-scale war. The cast will include returning stars like Zoe Saldana, Sam Worthington, Sigourney Weaver, Giovanni Ribisi, and Stephen Lang, as well as new additions like David Thewlis and Una Chaplin. The film is part of a larger expansion of the Avatar franchise, with potential for up to 7 films in total. The production is well into post-production, as most of the filming was completed a few years ago. However, delays have been attributed to extensive editing and cuts, especially considering the original runtime for Avatar 3, 4, and 5 was reportedly 9 hours long. So you can look forward to more world building and character development in the expansive Avatar universe, which has already grossed over $5 billion globally across its first 2 films. 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, directed by Nia DaCosta and written by Alex Garland, will serve as the sequel to 28 Years Later and the 4th installment in the 28 Days Later series. Aaron Taylor Johnson and Cillian Murphy will reprise their roles, with principal photography set to begin in August 2024. In December 2024, Taylor Johnson confirmed the films were shot back-to-back. Produced by Columbia Pictures, the British Film Institute, Decibel Films, and DNA Films, the film is scheduled for release on January 16, 2026 by Sony Pictures Releasing. Avengers Doomsday. At San Diego Comic-Con 2024, Avengers Doomsday was announced as the new title for Avengers 5, shifting the focus from Kang to Dr. Doom as the primary antagonist. In a major surprise, Robert Downey Jr. will return to the MCU, not as Iron Man, but as Dr. Doom. Directed by the Russo brothers, who are also helming Avengers Secret Wars, the film promises an ambitious story with over 60 characters, making it one of the most epic MCU projects yet. Set to release on May 1, 2026, it will likely tie into the Fantastic Four and feature characters from Thunderbolts, Wakanda, and beyond, including potential appearances from Loki, Deadpool, Wolverine, Namor, and Moon Knight. With Doctor Doom's power and the concept of universe-ending incursions at the center, Avengers Doomsday sets the stage for an intense multiverse showdown leading into Avengers Secret Wars. The Mandalorian and Grou. The Mandalorian and Grou are set for a new adventure, this time on the big screen on May 22, 2026. Directed by Jon Favreau and produced by Favreau, Kathleen Kennedy, and Dave Filoni, The Mandalorian and Grou is currently in production. "I love telling stories set in the rich world that George Lucas created," said Favreau. "The prospect of bringing the Mandalorian and his apprentice Grogu to the big screen is extremely exciting." Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilm, added, "Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have introduced two new and beloved characters to Star Wars, and this new story is a perfect fit for the big screen." Starring Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver, The Mandalorian and Grogu will lead Lucasfilm's ongoing feature development slate, which includes films directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, James Mangold, and Dave Filoni. Filoni is also working on Ahsoka Season 2, among other projects in the works. Masters of the Universe, June 5, 2026. He-Man is making his return to the big screen in a live-action adaptation from Amazon MGM, marking the first film in the franchise since 1987. Rising star Nicholas Galitzine will play Prince Adam He-Man, with Riverdale alum Camila Mendez cast as Tila, the captain of the Royal Guard. The movie is expected to be an origin story, retelling the classic tale of Prince Adam's transformation into He-Man and his fight against Skeletor. Fans are excited to see Eternia brought to life with modern filmmaking technology, and there's a strong sense of nostalgia for this iconic 80s franchise. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, July 26, 2026. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is slated as the second live-action film featuring the hero, following the 1984 Supergirl movie. This new iteration will explore deeper and darker themes, focusing on Supergirl's tough upbringing on a decimated Krypton, which contrasts sharply with Superman's more nurturing upbringing on Earth. James Gunn has emphasized that this version of Supergirl will be tougher and more complex, offering a fresh and intense perspective on the character. Jumanji III, December 11, 2026. Jumanji III will be available in IMAX and premium large formats. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Karen Gillan, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black are all returning, along with director Jake Kasdan, who directed the last two films, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle and Jumanji: The Next Level. The script will be written by Jeff Pinkner and Scott Rosenberg, who also worked on the previous movies. Producers from the past films, including Matt Tolmach, Johnson, Kasdan, Danny Garcia, and Hiram Garcia, will be back for this third installment. Hiram Garcia teased the threequel in 2021, saying the team would start working on it after Johnson's Red One movie, set to release in November 2024. Kevin Hart confirmed that this will be the final movie in the Jumanji series, promising a fitting conclusion to his character's relationship with Johnson's. Well, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more updates on this and other exciting upcoming movies. We'll see you next time.